The second and final episode of the documentary aired on 9 on Tuesday night, and the stunning television conclusion exposed new and crucial evidence implicating Burke as the one who dealt the fatal blow and JonBenet's parents John and Patsy Ramsey covering up the crime. This comes on the back of previous revelations which placed 3 people in the room in the moments after the original 911 call, when the Ramseys had maintained Burke was asleep at the time. It also debunks claims JonBenet died of asphyxiation. In the final episode, the team of world-renowned forensic experts, led by former FBI Special Agent Jim Clemente, revisited every theory previously put forward for the beauty pageant princess's death. An intruder. The first theory to be debunked was the one which laid blame on an intruder for the murder. Crime scene footage analysis and reenactments not only definitively proved an intruder could not have entered the home in the manner previously claimed, but also that 2 other vital parts of the theory did not stack up. The first one was the claim that marks found on JonBenet's body were made by a stun gun. Not only were the puncture wounds inconsistent with those marks, but they also claimed there was no way a stun gun could have been used without JonBenet screaming them, making any other noise that would awaken the house. Instead, they allege, the marks were made post-mortem by pieces of a train set owned by Burke Ramsey, likely through prodding and already dead JonBenet in an attempt to raise her. Was it rape? Second, and most shocking, investigators agreed sexual assault had not taken place in the course of the crime. Not only did forensic psychologist Dr. Mark Spitz state any evidence of damage was almost non-existent, but DNA evidence found on JonBenet's underwear, and used to clear the Ramseys previously for the crime, was most likely from a secondary transfer. In fact, claimed Dr. Spitz, that foreign DNA could even have been transferred to the garment during manufacturing. Was it the mother? Another theory after the crime was that Patsy Ramsey had murdered her daughter in anger after she wet the bed. Again, this theory was quickly eliminated by the team, who said there was no evidence, either historical or scientific, which backed this up. So what did happen? A new theory. According to the hypothesis laid forward, and backed up by actual footage taken both at the crime scene and in an interview with Burke after the murder, JonBenet died after stealing a piece of pineapple from her brother's bowl late that night, with the remnants of the fruit found in her stomach, which would match up with the time period, and Burke and Patsy's fingerprints found on the bowl containing the fruit. Investigators agreed the most likely scenario unfolded in this way. My hypothesis is that the Ramseys came home around 9:30 or 10 o'clock from dinner at their friends, the Whites' home, said forensic profiler James Fitzgerald in the documentary. I think JonBenet was asleep. I think John carried her upstairs, and I think Patsy remained downstairs with Burke and served him the tea and pineapple, and then I think Patsy, got JonBenet up to go to the bathroom so she didn't wet the bed during the night. She may have brushed her teeth. That stuff was out on the counter. And then I think she was up and awake enough that she was maybe hungry and she went downstairs. And in the meantime, Patsy continued packing for the Michigan trip that the family were to take the following day. Family cover-up. I think if Burke was upset about circumstance at Christmas presents, most likely he was upset about her trying to snag a piece of pineapple. So, he may have struck her with that flashlight. All the team agreed with this hypothesis. However, they also agreed that it was most likely an unintentional act of murder rather than a deliberate attempt to cause his sister's death. And as for the subsequent cover-up, again, all experts were on the same page. Patsy was almost certainly the one who wrote the ransom note. They agreed. But John also had a hand in staging the crime scene that night. The most likely probability is that the adults in the house staged this to look like a monster predator had come in their house and killed their daughter, said Clemente. It's my opinion that the Ramsey family did not want law enforcement to solve this case, and that's why it remained unsolved. I think in the end this was about two parents who deeply cared about the child they lost and wanted to protect the child they had remaining, said Clemente in conclusion.